Tracey,
Good morning, friend.
how are you? It's good to see you.
Doing great. That's Linda McCormick.
Yes, sorry, it's been a busy morning already, right?
Yeah, you probably been to the gym, huh?
Got to do it. It's part of the whole
Okay.
program.
Good morning. Good morning. We are live streaming right now. Tracy, take it away.
Well, thank you. Welcome, everybody. What an exciting week. We end up with a Freaky Friday Halloween, I guess, coming up here, which I'm excited because I get to go watch all those grandbabies. It's going to be fun. So, anyway, I have a special guest this morning in our huddle. So, welcome, Legacy Makers. We're very excited to have you on. I have a really good friend named Athena Captain. She is a professional speaker, an author coming up here. She is from Edmond, Oklahoma. She's a wonderful person, very strong personality. I love it when we're able to get together with her and her husband, Jerry. Anyway, she has been personally trained by Darren Hardy. You'll see a lot of strength in that in her personal successes. She's going to share with you a little bit of her story and some teaching on personal development. So I love her quote, a good leader and mentor must be radically transparent, which I 100% believe, radically honest, absolutely, and completely real. And authenticity is so, so important to Lance and I think for most of you too. Just that authentic self is so important because, every day we are selling ourselves and who we are and what we believe and what we stand for. And so she has a book release coming out soon, I've read. The Making of a Rainmaker, which I love that title, Rainmaker. Is absolutely incredible. I think she probably will talk, on the personal development side, but I love her 5 values. Number one, impact. Number two, abundance. Number three, advocacy. Which is amazing. Athena is a very amazing advocate. And four, authenticity again, and five, consistency. So she is a powerhouse, and we are so fortunate to have her for this 30 minutes. She's a founder of Three, and I'm just going to hand it right over to my great, great, wonderful friend, Athena Captain.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for having me this morning. I am so excited. Lance and Tracy inspired Jerry and I and are people that we consider mentors and leaders in our life. And I'm thankful that God has crossed our paths. So I want to give you a short little story about who I am. And then I want to go into some things that I call practicalities and then go into some ideas of what could be holding us back and how we overcome that, if you guys are okay with that this morning. So a little bit about who I am. Not too long, but just to show you that what I'm teaching you, I actually have done. I get really frustrated with people who like to teach but have never done it. So I'm like, that's what I'm about with being authentic, being honest. I come from an extremely humble background. Those of you who are familiar with an ACE score, which is Adverse Childhood Experience score, I'm a 10 out of 10, which just means in psychology terms, I don't exist or shouldn't exist. But by the grace of God and a lot of determination and a lot of personal development and therapy, I'm here and I'm thriving. But more importantly, also, I am a partner in a business, a $10 million business, and that I helped develop and build. I also own my own business, my consulting business, professional speaking business. I have multiple podcasts, hundreds of blogs. All of that I built as a side business, by the way, first. I built it as a side business before it became my main business. And no, I didn't give up the other business. Plus, just like you, we love Thrive and we love Three. So I'll tell you what, I do all of that, but most importantly, I have a daughter, a child with special needs. And I guess she's not a child anymore. She's 20. I can't believe it. And in my spare time as a hobby, 13 years ago, almost 14 now, we created a nonprofit called Savannah Station, which is an equine therapy, which is horse therapy program for children and adults with special needs. I get asked all the time, like, how do you do all of that? Like, you must be crazy. You must do drugs or something. No, that is not the case. None of that. I'm just like you. There's nothing special about me. And by the way, I do like to work, but I'm no longer a workaholic. I like to say that I am a recovering workaholic. And so I've learned how to do all of these things and still enjoy the things that really matter in life. And that's my friendships, my relationship with God, my health, and my family. So I say all that to tell you that there's nothing I'm going to tell you today that I don't execute, that my teams don't execute, and that I don't believe in wholeheartedly. And the very first thing, Tracey, I really wanted to talk about is something I'm seeing globally right now. As I'm talking to CEOs throughout the United States, and I'm going to these conventions and I'm talking to people in all different industries, I'm seeing something that I'm hoping is not happening here, but just in case, I want to make sure we address it. There's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot that could get in the way and have be noise in your life. I want to tell you straight out, let's turn off the noise and let's get focused on what we can control. Let's focus on every single day. What is it that we can control today? And what are the behaviors necessary for us to achieve no matter what is happening in the world? Say your prayers, do your due diligence, but we're talking in your business. What can we do to stay focused? What happens if we allow too much noise to go on is we get into inertia. Inertia is where we don't move, we don't act, we don't take action. And when we get into what I call emotional quicksand, we have inertia. So I want you to, first of all, think about your own business and ask yourself, is there a place I'm in emotional quicksand? And that it's creating inertia for me. The other thing that it can create is creative avoidance, which is where we do things that are not productive to fill time, to feel busy. Now, I'm hoping no one on this call is experiencing any of that. But if you are, let's get real about it, because I'm seeing it as a pandemic. Literally, it's worse than COVID. It is destroying extremely talented people. But more importantly, I want you to think about those people that you are trying to recruit, the people that you are trying to bring into your organization, the people that you are wanting to share your passion and your love for our product and what you want to do with it. Guess what? They may be in emotional quicksand too. And they may be doing creative avoidance, and they most definitely could be stuck in inertia. And so I like to say to you, you may not be selling against objections. You may be selling and promoting against inertia, getting people just to move. So what do we do about that? What do we do for our own life, and what do we do for these people? I want to start with number one, and this is where I'm going to get practical. I always like to tell people, I want you to walk away from this call not motivated, not inspired, but with action items to impact and change your life. So the first thing I want to talk about, you guys, is I hope every single one on this call is looking at this like a business. It may be your side hustle, but it's still a business. When my nonprofit and my consulting business was a side hustle, I still treated it like I was a CEO. I still treated it like a business. And what do businesses need? They need systems, and they need consistency, and they need structure. So my question to you, and this is, and by the way, Tracey, if you want, my team and I can create something here for you where we can get this to your people to kind of lay this out. If you would like that, we'll get that to them. But number one, here's the thing. You want that? Because we will get that for you guys. But the number one thing you need is you don't have it. And I know people think sometimes I sell these, I don't, but you need a CRM. You need a customer relationship management tool. You need somewhere. I don't like spreadsheets, but if that's where you're going to start, then start there. But you need somewhere where you're collecting the information of the people you are building relationships with, the people you are out communicating with and building and nurturing. You need to have a database to ensure that you, one, track your conversations with them, and that you know essential information about them. You need to know, I know this sounds silly, I mean, it's so old school, but people aren't doing it. You need to know when their birthday is. I mean, it sounds so simple. You need to know things about them. If I was having a call right now with Tracey, and I was trying to get her on in the mission, I would be making sure that I uncovered things about her that were, what are her pains? What are her desires? What are her dreams in life? And then I would not think that I was going to convert her one and done. You guys, I'll talk about some statistics, but what I would be doing in that conversation is I would be doing the number one skill any salesperson or professional should have, and that is listening. I would be listening to understand her pain, her heart, her dreams, the things holding her back. And I would be taking notes. Not because in that call, I'm going to fix it for her immediately. That's arrogant, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those notes and then I'm going to enact what I call, and this is all going to be part of my book, Tracey, so I'm excited when this comes out. But the next step, I'm going to make sure that I have a task to follow up with Tracey. Now, that task isn't for me to call her. That task is for me to reach out by text or email to her or video, do a little quick video to her and say, hey, Tracey, remember our call? And you said that you were struggling with X. Well, here's a podcast I got that I wanted you. I heard you. Or, hey, here's a blog, or here's a book I think you might like. And I'm not saying you have to go purchase all of these things, you guys. You can if you are at that financial place and they are somebody you think could, you're like, hey, this is a whale. This is somebody I really want out there. You do that then, but you don't have to. What I'm talking about is if I'm having this conversation with Tracey, I'm going to reach back out because in a couple of days, she's going to realize, wow, Athena didn't want anything from that conversation. She heard me. She heard what mattered to my heart and she cares. And you guys, then what that does is allows me to reach back out to Tracey in X amount of days and say, hey, Tracey, how did that resource go? How's that impacting your life? How's that going? Statistically, if I can say that word, statistically speaking, we have to follow up with leads a minimum of 8 times in order for us to have an 80% or higher conversion ratio. Now, I'm going to tell you, the other thing, I'm watching the statistics, they'll come back out in around March. My assumption, based on what I'm seeing in my own businesses and my clients' businesses, is that number may be a little higher currently right now because of what I said, this emotional quicksand and inertia. People are afraid to act for a multitude of reasons. So we need to make sure that within our CRM, we have a follow-up campaign. My question to you guys, do you have a written follow-up plan? You need a written follow-up plan of what are you doing to ensure that all of these people you are communicating with, that you're not just putting them in a database, you're nurturing them, you're loving them, you're adding water to them, you're adding to their life. This is what we have to do if we want higher conversion. And I get pushback, maybe not from this group, but I get pushback all throughout the United States when I speak this. Because people are like, I don't know what to say, Athena. What do I say when I call them? Well, what you don't say, right? Linda, right? You're not going to say, hey, are you ready to buy? You're never going to say something like that. That's rude. No one wants to be sold. That's not relationship building. That's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that each conversation we're looking for what, ladies and gentlemen? Pain, desire, outcomes. We're going to be having conversations to talk to them about those resources or those tools. We're going to call them and talk to them about, hey, what's going on in your life? Has anything changed? If you're a person of faith, can I pray with you? How can I stand with you? We're going to be continuing to develop the relationship, and we're going to obviously be looking at ways that our product can help them, right? You're going to be consistently saying, hey, what if there's something about what we're doing, this movement, that could help them get closer to their life dream? Well, we need to understand what their life dream is, their outcomes, what they want for their life, and how our product can help them do it. And then we start planting those seeds. We start letting them know, hey, I got a lifeline. I got a lifeline. But it may not take them, hey, 1 call may not be 2 calls. You may be on call 7 or 8 before they're like, you know what? I do want to hear more. I want to hear more. Now, you may have within those calls showered them with some videos and some information. It doesn't mean they'll convert. what I want you guys to realize is this is a nurturing a relationship business. Nurturing relationship business. So we need to have these resources. We need our CRM, we need our follow-up plan, and we need to be consistently adding value and listening with our hearts to understand. And I want you to really be thinking, some of you are probably wildly successful on this call. And I'm going to say this to you. Some of my clients, the most successful, get stuck in a trap of success. Success can be one of your enormous Achilles heels. Success often breeds complacency. Success often breeds the forgetting of fundamentals, forgetting what got you there. I want to tell you that personally, in my home building business, about 18 months ago, I almost got bit with this bug because we were super successful, dominating the industry. No one could touch us. And then a whole bunch of algorithms changed, y'all, and all of this stuff changed. And overnight, my team was like, Athena. And it was my complacency, that success, that arrogance, ego. Now, I'm not saying you have all that, but I'm telling you I did. And what happened is I had to say, whoa. My job is to never get complacent. My job is to never get comfortable. My job is to always stay in front of the market in order to make sure that my teams stay in front, that they're thriving no matter the economy. They're thriving no matter what is happening. And I allowed success to almost destroy what I built. So if you're listening and you're extremely successful, please don't just say, girl, I already understand this. What I'm going to ask you is, are you stuck? Are you being complacent? Are you being like me? Are there areas where you're like, you know what, my follow-up plan can be dialed in. My adding value could be dialed in. And the other piece to this too is, I want you guys to hear, what is the greatest lead generating tool any of us have? Greatest lead generating tool. And this one is so underutilized and it drives me crazy. But I'm just going to tell you what it is. It's referrals. Referrals are the number one lead generating magnet tool you have. But how do we create more referrals? Number one, hope you're writing this down too. You need to have a list in that CRM of all of your referral partners, anyone who's ever referred business to you. That needs to be a designated list. Those people, I want you to think about this. Now, you guys, right? You think about, you may not have a huge team. Maybe you feel, hey, Athena, you have no idea. I'm all alone. No, you're not. You are with every person on this call, but more importantly, every referral partner you have works for you. Every referral partner you have is your salesperson. So I want to ask you this. You're a CEO of a business and you have sales teams. Are you going to not talk to them? Are you not going to add value to them? Are you not going to have a relationship with them? Are you not going to see how they're doing and what they could be doing that you could be doing to help them even do better? Think about it though. Business owners in general undervalue, under-nurture referral partnerships. Because referral partnerships, again, are the number one way we get new leads. Now, remember I told you the average follow-up is 8. I will just tell you, on a referral lead, it's 4 or less, right? Because there's already no like and trust. There's already somebody selling it. So again, let me ask you, do you have a list of your referral partners? Are you honestly, this is the key, are you honestly nurturing them? Are you honestly loving on them? Are you helping them thrive? And are you teaching them how to refer additional people to you? If they're not continuing to refer, whose fault is that? It's yours. It's yours. Now, how do we do that? Let me just take a moment. How do we do that, Athena? How do we ask for referrals? Well, I'm going to tell you, and if anybody disagrees with me on the call, we'll just agree to disagree, because I'm going to tell you this. And I say it in my book. I never say the word referral. I never say the word referral, and I'll tell you why. If I were to call Tracey and ask her, hey, Tracey, could you refer somebody to me? The pressure then is put on Tracey. I'm asking Tracey to do my job. That's not fair. It's not Tracey's job to make me successful. It's my job to make me successful. So here's how I switch it up, right? Is what we do is we say, hey, Tracey, I love you and I love working with you. You know that what our product and our business has done for your life. Who do you know who's dreaming like you? Who do you know that wants freedom like you? Who do you know that's like you that you'd be willing to introduce me to so I could just have a conversation? You see, the difference is, one, I'm loving on her, telling how great she is, right? And who doesn't love that? Words of affirmation, even if it's not your love language, none of us hate it, right? So I'm going to love on her. But I'm also going to trigger things like in her psychology that says, oh, I can identify that person. Because if she doesn't know who she's looking for, she's going to have a hard time referring. But then she can think of it, and then it's just an introduction. There's no pressure there. The pressure then becomes mine. But let me tell you, as I talk to CEO after CEO and business leader, I ask them, first of all, you guys, I'm telling you, I ask them, maybe you guys are different. I'm like, I'll sit in their office and they're like, oh, we have a good referral plan. And y'all, I call BS real fast. I say, okay, good. Print it for me. Print it. I want the plan printed and I want a list of all your referral partners printed right down. And if they can't, BS button, right? Because if you can't do that right now, then you're not actually acting on what I'm talking about. You got to think about that. Can I push a button and say, I know what I'm doing, and this is the plan, and yes, I've been executing it. And yes, Athena, I'm asking my referral partners for more referral partners. If not, hallelujah. It means you just found a huge, what I call school of fish, right? I stole this from Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy always talks to us about find your school of fish, the people who need what you are offering right now. Go find your school of fish. The fastest way to find them is your referral partnerships are the fastest way to find them. You guys, that's your school of fish. You want to know where your next lead's going to come from? You want to know where your database is going to go from? Hello, it's right there. And that in the meantime, we get to nurture the people we love already. So again, recapping, we have our CRM. We have a follow-up for everyone within the CRM. But then I want to say we have our list of all of our referral partners. Now, I would also suggest that you should have a list of all your clients, everyone on your team. Now, some of those will be referral partners, but those who aren't referral partners, let's make them into referral partners, right? So people on our team, what are we doing to nurture them? What are we doing to love on them? What are we doing to support them? Very much like what Tracey is doing this morning with having me here for you. What are you doing to love on them? And is it really part of your plan? Because here's the other piece to this. It's about consistency. It's about having a system in place that happens so naturally you no longer have to really think about it other than thinking about how to make it better. For those of you who this is your side hustle, I got to tell you, you will never maximize the potential of this possibility without systematizing what I'm telling you, but because it will allow you to do what you need to do in less amount of time, which will allow you to achieve. And if it is your dream to make this your one thing, this is how you're going to do it. You got to start treating this even part-time like it's a business and you're a CEO. That's where it gets to be different. I get asked all the time, Athena, how do you speak all over the United States and do all of these things and you still have another business to run? Systems in my teams. So that's how you do it. And for those of you who are on and you're like, no, this is what I do. Great. Then how do we double down? How do we double down with those systems? How do we implement? How do we encourage ourselves to what are we not doing that we could be doing? Recently, I was hired, a year and a half ago. I was hired by this huge international tech company to come in, and they were already wildly successful. But the CEO was smart. he heard me speak at a conference and he said, I have a funny feeling that if I have you come in and look at my sales and marketing systems, that you're going to find ways that we're leaving money on the table. But I, like you, because I talked about this, he said, I'm so successful, I think I'm being complacent. We got in there, you guys. We got in there and we looked at it. And I will say, what did you guys think I went after first? Referral partners, right? I mean, hello, I just told you it's no different. Tech company, doesn't matter. We went in and you guys, we found that they do about $65 million a year. We found $6 million in 6 months. $6 million in 6 months. And he wildly successful. But what did we do? We found his referral partners. We doubled down. We figured out his team didn't even understand the value. Now that's just 6 months. We'll find out by the end of this year. We're going to find out exactly the full turnover, not to mention other things that we found. So you've got to look at this and you've got to sit back. So even if you're wildly successful now and you're like, this is my gig, sit back like his name's Zach. Sit back like Zach and say, hey, where am I leaving money on the table? And for you guys, because of what you do, it's not just money on the table. It's impact. Who are you not impacting today because your systems aren't in place? Who are you not impacting today because you just didn't think about it or weren't aware of it, or you're not being consistent? I want you to think about that. You have the power to change somebody's life. You have the power to help people achieve things they've never been able to achieve before in their health, in their finances, in their family. So I want to encourage, especially this group, when you get up every day, don't think about how much money can I make. Don't think about that. Ask yourself, how many people am I going to impact today? How many lives am I going to change today? How many people will be better because I talked to them today? And maybe it's buying the product. Maybe it's joining the team. Maybe it's because of value that you gave them. Maybe it's a conversation that you had. But in everything you do, make impact. And you want to talk about motivation when people ask me, how do I follow up? Don't follow up for money, follow up for impact. If you follow up for impact, the money will come. If you follow up to change lives, the money will come. If you follow money, good luck. Good luck with that. That's never done well for me. But I will tell you, the moment I started following impact, the money flowed. So today, just again, CRM, you have a follow-up plan, you have your referral partnerships, you're nurturing your teams, you're nurturing your past clients, you're adding value to these people, you're tracking your impact, you're building your systems. And I want to say this as I wrap this up. The other part of this is your psychology. Please do not allow any kind of limiting beliefs, anything that has ever told you you can't, you're not good enough. Do not allow that. I started this conversation with telling you I was a 10 out of 10 on this ACE score. I have scientific books that tell you I should be imprisoned or I should be dead. I've never believed it. I had to have a lot of help from Jesus and therapy, but I've always believed that I could overcome. I always believed that I could do what no one said I could do, and you can too. Again, there's nothing special. What I had to do is I had to start believing in myself. 2, I had to start building systems, and I had to find the avenues that it would allow me to achieve. And you guys are on that. So today, if you're sitting on here and you're like, but Athena, you don't know I'm struggling. You don't know what's going on in my life. Well, I'm going to tell you something, and Tracey knows this. My daughter is dying. Literally. For 18 months, we've been watching her body fade. We don't know how much longer we have her. Only God knows. The doctors are saying a couple of weeks, a couple of years. We don't know. You want to talk about a great excuse for me to be complacent? Do you want to talk about a great excuse for me to say I can't do it all? You want to talk about the one time in my life where I wish I could just go to Bora Bora and hang out, right? But I'm going to say this. I believe that God has allowed the circumstances. He's got my kid. He loves her more than I do. But he's showing me, and I want to show you, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter where you've come from. With the right people around you, the right systems, the right belief in yourself, and the right belief you can do it, it doesn't matter. You can achieve amazing things in the middle of a storm. Do not let the storms rob you of your dreams. Do not let the storms rob you of what you're capable of doing. You have leadership that is with you. You have people around you that will support you so that you can achieve no matter what. You can't do it without the systems. You can't do it without faith, and you can't do it without the belief in yourself. So I'm standing with you this morning and telling you, you have what it takes. No matter what is going on in your life. I'm not saying you won't cry. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying you are worth fighting for. Your dreams are worth fighting for, and you've got this. So today, after this, I will make sure that my team has some resources for you. But more importantly, you go out there and figure out whose life I'm going to impact. Because I'll tell you one more thing. The best way when you are struggling is to go serve others. It might be biblical, but go serve other people, and guess what will happen? You will get energized. You will get what you need, and you will be able to have what you need to sustain and achieve. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you guys, and good luck to all of you. Thanks, Tracey.
Wow. There we are, Powerhouse Athena Captain. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, she does this pro bono because she loves people, right? And we all do too. That's why we're in this business. And so what a gift to me and to all of us this morning. Thank you, Athena. We love you so much. And God bless you and your daughter. And of course, Jerry too. So
Absolutely.
That's it, guys. Let's go make things happen. Thank you, Athena.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Have an amazing day, amazing message.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Athena.
Thank you,
Thanks.
everybody.
See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.
Bye.